they'd say, hey, we're taking old ballooner bikes, clunkers, out into the woods, man. What are you doing? And I'd ridden cyclocross before. I know what off-road was. But this was like big fat tires, and you couldn't puncture the tires. You go out into the woods with a cross bike, you'd ride for 2 hours, you'd come back and patch tires for 3 hours. It was ridiculous, You couldn't let loose and go fast. I went out with my friends, and all of a sudden we're doing 35, 40 miles an hour down these hills, and it's a natural roller coaster, and I'm saying, this is fun. But this is primitive, because we were spending 80% of the time either hitchhiking up the hill or pushing the bike uphill. And I was a bike mechanic. I started in a Schwinn shop, when I was 14, as a mechanic. And I said, oh, obviously this thing needs gears, wide range, and brakes, Fine. So I built one for myself. I built one for my roommate, Charlie Killey. I built one for his best friend. I built one for a fireman down the street. And the guy down the street, the fireman, he was in lousy shape. And at first I thought these bikes are only going to be for athletes because it's really hard. And he went out and rode with us, and it changed his life. I love this. It changed his life. And at that moment I realized, this is a really important thing that I've come upon. This is going to get more people riding bikes than ever before. And that's been my campaign. In 1979, Charlie and I started a little company. We had $600 between us, and we named it Mountain Bikes. And I've watched movements and things happen, and usually it's like this one right here. It's one or two people that say, hey, we're going to do this. And they are so reasonable and so incredibly enthusiastic and won't quit that people tend to gather all around them, dance around them, and then stuff happens. And I could look at this many years later, and I think, yeah, I've created 1 million jobs. Yeah, there are 40 million people riding mountain bikes around the world. That's great. But I'm not finished. And I see opportunity. And the opportunity is the fact that right now, we're having problems with our physical health. I mean, 3 out of 4 Americans are overweight. 17% of our gross domestic product goes to healthcare. We're at a huge disadvantage to the rest of the world. They're paying 9 to 12%. And here's the worst. Here's the one that just drives me crazy, because I am an American, is that our life expectancy in the United States is starting to go south, my friends. Okay. Unacceptable, unacceptable. And it's places like this that make something addictive, that is, doing the right thing, being physical with your own body, learning, technique and everything. There's more and more medical science, peer-reviewed, that's come out and says the human body needs this. Our kids need this. And we're going to do this not only here, but we're going to do this all over. And I talk to these mayors and I say, Sao Paulo, 14 million people there. And I'm talking to the mayor and say, we're going to have safe routes to school / Ray's indoor mountain bike park. We're going to go over streets. We're going to drill right through buildings. And these guys look at me straight in the eye and I say, yes. 10 years ago, they would have said, this guy's a nut. But it's like people are coming around, and especially the millennials. They're saying, this model, the old model, is broken, and we've got to fix it. And they know physicality is part of the whole program. So that's one of the big reasons I'm here, is because I recognize Steve Shields, he's a wild man. And I tell him that, conservative? No, man, you're crazy. And it's like John Burke, president of Trek, same deal. People look at him and say, oh, he's a conservative. I go, no, he isn't. He's a wild man. He's willing to take risks, and he sees the benefit on the other side. Because, you do the math, and you find out that, like, the money we're spending on healthcare, if we could erase it by doing things that are fun, I think that's a good situation. And I'm bound and determined to see this happen. And I've got a lot of people that are saying, I'm there with you. Are you guys there with me?
Yeah!
Excellent. Excellent. This is a beautiful facility. These trails are not just getting from point A to point B. They are artistry, fun. You know, it is the, you know, people ask me, oh, Gary, you're so into innovation. What's the biggest innovation in the last 10 years on the mountain bike? And I'll say, the trail. The trail's the biggest innovation. Anybody can ride these trails on any bike, and you feel like a genius. You feel like, wow, I can pull this off. It's incredible. I'm going to suit up. We're going to cut the ribbon. We're going to ride. You want to come with? Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you've done. I want to really give a big thank you to everyone here that supported this from the very beginning to now, and the ones that support in the future, and the ones that bring more in. This is where it's at. Thank you.